wonderful weekend so far. So my name is Kryptonite, guys. I'll be starting off with a short question and answer session with Tin today. Before we head into the actual AMA, actually, which is be hosted by Spec. Yeah. So those of you who are new here, Tin is the founder and the world architect of Cypher. So Tin has also founded multiple other successful businesses in Vietnam, including Dreamplex, which was where President Obama actually gave his motivational speech to nearly 300 people during his visit to Vietnam in May 2016. So following his success of Dreamplex, he was also named one of the top 30 most influential people under 30 years old in Vietnam. So, hey Tin, how are you doing? How's this past week been so far?
Well, I was doing good, but after your intro, now I'm doing great. Thanks for that.
Amazing, Tin, amazing. Shall we get started, Tin? Are you ready?
Yeah, just before we started, just a quick snippet about Obama, because when you said he gave some motivational speech at my place, which he did. One of his we actually had this painting, right? You can Google it later. We have this painting which is made by it's a gift from a friend of mine to me for Dreamplex grand opening, and
Okay.
it was made by all these disabled people who but are very good at crafting paper art. So they use paper, they roll it up to make this beautiful painting of the skyline and also of the Dreamplex brand. So they give it to me, which was very nice. And then so when Obama saw it, he actually signed on it and then wrote me a note saying "Dream big dreams." And yeah, that has stuck with me ever since, man.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So it's with you right now, right? It's at your house.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's at Dreamplex. You can see it at Dreamplex, our co-working space.
Let me just Google it up. Is the image on Google?
If you cannot find it, I'll circulate to you later.
Yeah. I'll just send to the chat room later for everyone to see.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
A nice painting, man. Yeah, dream big
So,
dreams. Yeah.
Big dream. Following that, Cypher is an even bigger dream, right? So in another few months or next year, we are launching the game. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a few questions. The people are excited. The hype is there, and we will get started with the AMA. Yeah. So before we start with the AMA, there are a few topics which the crowd is already concerned about. Yeah. So the first being the Canis sub race. So I myself hold 4 Canis with me right now. So can you tell me, Tin, why is my Canis special? Why is my Canis special compared to the BioZ, the Cyborg, or the Cosmic?
Sure. So first and foremost, right, all the sub races are meant to serve a purpose in the game. We don't create the sub race the Canis just for fun and they have no use. That's not correct. So each of them are all unique in their own cosmetically in game, skill wise in game. So when you think about like the typical game genre, right? There's always the so-called spellcaster, the utility man, the all-rounder, kind of like marine soldier type of guy, right? Who are good at like taking damage, a bit more health, a bit more survivability. Whereas the other can be like a glass cannon, right? You know the word glass cannon, meaning like it can dish out like some crazy strength, crazy spell, but when it get focus attack, it dies very quickly, right? So what I'm explaining to you is that the Canis is intentionally to serve the purpose of the all-rounder, the one that have more survivability, the one that the newer player are better at controlling, better using. Because when you first play the game, you should never play a glass cannon because you just get killed right away, right?
Yeah.
So that is the purpose of Canis, and that is why we purposely envision the race to be to have more quantities than the other sub races, just because we believe that they will have like mass appeal, like the mass audience, the large number of players will really enjoy and get used to playing Canis. So some of the skills we cannot disclose right now, but some of the skills with like marine soldier type who are very well rounded, easy to play, easy to get started, but also can be very, very powerful if you know how to use him. So that's regarding in game. And regarding cloning, Canis is subjected to a higher degree of mutation because of this. Because basically, the Canis soldiers haven't gone through mutation. It hasn't become like the Bio-Z, or it hasn't become the Cosmic. It's still the Canis. So when you clone the Canis, there's a more chance of you cloning another Canis that has slightly different attributes, whether it's cosmetic or whether it's in-game attributes. So that's regarding cloning. And another special thing about Canis is that in the game, you face certain quests, certain challenges, certain bosses that are better fought when you have a Canis in your team, when you have a Canis player
that's
in your team.
interesting. Okay.
So that will lead me to later on when I share with you about the game update, which is super exciting. Is that you cannot just hope to have 3 cosmics and go win the game. No, you actually need your friendly neighborhood Canis. So those I hope that's answered your question.
So it's much more like for example, a Dota game, right? You can't have 5 agility heroes going in and destroying the enemy team, right?
Exactly, that doesn't work, right? Doesn't make sense, right? How could you have like 5 AD to go in and you get wiped, right?
Yeah. So the Canis can specialize into a damage dealer or a tank or a support class, but it all depends on the Canis user itself, correct?
Correct. So
amazing. Okay.
So there's a lot of things that you realize later on when we, showcase the skill tree or the game, and you understand the Canis are special. It's just they're more attracted to a wider audience. So that's why we also want to make them available to a wider audience, right?
Okay, so regarding that, right, you mentioned earlier that the cloning of Canis is more likely to produce a Canis. So regarding this, people are concerned, if I produce too much Canis, will it affect the floor price? Is that something you've thought of?
Yeah, so I think the question that I get asked a lot is why should you buy a Canis, right? And I think I should start that question, but with why you shouldn't buy, why you should not buy a Canis or a Cypher to be general.
Sure. Yeah.
I think you shouldn't buy if you want to gamble. I don't think you should buy these characters if you want to flip and make a quick buck. Don't do it. I think you shouldn't buy if you haven't done your own research and know what kind of universe and game we're building and how long it will take. I don't think you should buy. I don't think you should invest in anything crypto related if you cannot afford to hold it for the long term. So those would be my caveat on just don't buy, right? So now back to why should you own a Canis. Before the reveal, everyone is buying in hope that you, me, everyone will buy in hope that we'll get some rare, super rare, like cosmetic wise or super rare sub race. Yeah. So we're all sort of playing this gacha game together, which is quite fun. And congratulations to the 2 sellers today who sold their their 2 Cypher for was it 8 ETH or and 12 Ethereum. So congrats to them. I think they clearly won the lottery game. But yeah, we all buy because we're hoping to receive something unique and special. But today, on OpenSea, right? The question is, why should you buy today on OpenSea? And there's a couple of reasons why I think you should buy. Number one, it's a great entry price for whoever wants to own the 10,000 Origins Inu. I don't think the price will get better than this ever. Number two is that like I said, there's some quests in the game, some maps, some levels that will require Canis to beat. Imagine buffs in the party, right? You require certain buff to have an advantage to beat some bosses or some dungeons. And then secondly is that because the Canis are just good in a certain style of gameplay, right? Let's say the newbies, the beginner, the one who's not so good at controlling glass cannons hero, they would automatically favor the play style, the ability control of the Canis. Next point is that because Canis belongs to the 10,000 Origins, right? And the 10,000 Origins are basically the first beta testers of the game, the first people who are able to play the game and receive in-game rewards, the first people to receive all these drops that we are coming over the upcoming months. Whether it's a Canis, whether it's a Cosmic, you receive the same drops exclusive to you, right? You have access to all this, fun things that we're doing, very valuable things that we're doing for you. So I think that's a great entry point into the Cypher universe, right? And then next point is that you buy because you want to support the game. You want to support us, the game developer, to build this game, this project, and you want to see it grow. You want to see it grow with you in the future. And lastly is you buy it because you essentially are paying to become a distributor in our game universe. You are buying so that you become the CD key curators, that you can play and then make more CD keys to then distribute it to the market, or keep it for yourself so you can continue to play more and more games and earn more through playing. So I think those would be all my reasons as to why you should consider buying it now on OpenSea. But I want to finish that answer with a caveat that this is not financial advice. So listen to my don't buy first, and then do your own research, and then make your own decisions. Crypt, you're on mute, right?
Hello, do you guys lose me? Am I back?
Yeah, you're
Okay, so yeah, I love my Canis. Let's move on to the next question.
back.
Game development. So, Tin,
Sure.
what's happening over here? What's new? What's coming?
Man, that's exciting. What's new? I mean, we're more than 30 people now. We have like 14 different artists. We're growing to about about 15 game engineer, technical artists, game developers. So these are the game team, right? It's not counting the
Mm.
blockchain team. It's not counting the marketing team, the social team, right? So we're growing, and it's super exciting. That in terms of human resource. In terms of what we're working on, I can share some sneak peeks over the upcoming days. We're working on enemy design, bosses, because the bosses have to be very fun and unique, and the boss have to tell a great story. That's what I'm aiming for. We're working on environmental design, level design. We're working on the whole narrative of the whole Sipheria Wolf Sipheria story. Why? Because we're ambitious. We want to make the world really deep. The lore is complex and fun and engaging, so that we can build on top of it like multiple gaming experiences, not just one small game and be done with it. That's not what we're here for. So I'm working very hard personally on the whole game story, and I think I finally have arrived at a good narrative, a good story, a good beginning, middle, and end, so to speak, to make it simple. That really link the game, link the comics, link the other
Ooh.
experiences that we're bringing together, all in one like very unified universe. So that's what we have managed to achieve in the past 2 weeks. Also regarding the gameplay, I have like a massive update for you guys.
Ooh.
Is that instead of if we're thinking of just saving up until and building release the game next year, the mobile game, which is still the mobile game next year, is the aim release. But we're thinking before we were thinking of doing like a simple kind of like web-based game activities, which we call like expedition mode, where
Oh,
you can we were thinking before on the roadmap, right? We're thinking that you can
yeah.
send your characters on expeditions and so on. But now we're thinking, no, I think that is it's not fun. Like when you just click and use. I don't think it's a fun game experience we want to create. So we're working on a dungeon game where you can actually, like a real dungeon crawler game, and it's co-op mode. You can play with two of your other friends who also own the Inu,
Okay.
and you three can go on a dungeon and just fight against monster and beat bosses and receive loot and receive items, receive gems, receive like aether shards and things like that. So that is what we've been working on and we're aiming towards. And we don't have a clear exact release date yet, but it will
Mhm.
definitely be released before the mobile game. So basically what you guys are getting is two for the price of one, meaning you're getting the Inu and you can have two game experiences. One is a dungeon and one is like a PvP MOBA experience. So I think that's super exciting, and that's what got me really fired up as well with the whole team.
So there's gonna be a game before the actual game releases next year. Yeah. And that will be browser based. Wow.
No.
Hey,
The
no,
game,
not browser based.
no, it'll be PC client based. It's like a proper, client that you can download on your PC and play. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's exciting. Even I didn't know that. Okay. And I'm part of the team.
Well,
Okay.
because
So
you just joined recently, but yeah.
I
So
just joined recently. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, we are hoping to release that. But again, it will be an MVP. It will be a like a first experience that you can play. So be patient with us. And all of you guys will be our beta tester. Along the road, and we'd love to have your feedback. We'd love to have your inputs, just like for the past few weeks. I think that together, community can build a great game together. So yeah, I'm super excited for the game.
I'm more excited now. Wow, let's go. Next one, Tin. Next one. Are you ready? Next question is about cloning, right? So, can you tell us more about cloning actually? So, what is it about? I mean, how can people actually make money with cloning, and what is the mechanics behind it?
So the mechanic of cloning is quite simple. And we will only release the cloning mechanism after we release the dungeon experience, right? Just to let everyone know. So once you play the dungeon, once the dungeon mode is out, you start being able to collect all these items and what we call like vessel cores, right? So these vessel core, you can put it into the laboratory and give it a mad scientist, and then he'll take some time to basically clone your subrace character into another character, essentially into another being that you can either send that being into your party, or you can sell it to other players who want to join and play the game. So that's how cloning works. It's quite simple, and it will be done via a web portal. So just imagine like logging in using your MetaMask. You have your NFTs. You can put it into the laboratory cloning sort of space, and then you input your vessel core, and you click accept, and it'll take like a few hours or something. We're working on the timing, and then you can basically have two characters afterwards.
And it'll all show up on my inventory one shot, right?
Yeah. And as a result of mutation, so they'll have they'll have like slightly different looks. They might have like different traits that you only see in game. You won't see it on the NFT, but you see it in game. So things like that. Mm-hmm.
So even my Canis that I clone will look very different and very unique to its own, right?
I wouldn't say very different. I wouldn't say very different, but it'll be different enough. Yeah.
I see. Nice. Okay. Let's move on to the next big one, Tin. It's you said something on Twitter about comics. So comics. What is this all about, right? So everyone is excited. Everyone is looking forward to it. Can you tell us more?
Sure. I'd love to. I mean, I grew up as a big manga and comics fan, right? I think when you read manga and comics, you're teleported to like another universe. You can imagine yourself as a superhero or sometimes as a villain, but most of the time superhero, right? I think with the world of Sipheria that I've created, or we created, it's such a shame not to tell that story via a few different formats and to tell it from different point of view. So I don't want to ruin the story for you guys, but just imagine, these 10,000 Cypherians we are here are gonna go to this world and explore. So I'm sure there'll be tons of story of the exploration, of people fighting in a dungeon, the challenges, the conflicts, the different factions fighting for each other for different ideals. The ultimate goal of why we're there, like why are we inside Sipheria? What are we fighting for? Who are we fighting? I think all of that should be captured in more ways than just in the game, and that's why we decided to do the comics. And it got our investor really excited. It got our team really excited. And finally, when I met a few like comic design studio, production studios, and finally we have met one, which I cannot announce the name yet, but I think his vision, his style is great. I mean, they used to work for Marvel, so which I really love, like Marvel comics. So when I tell him the story and we bounce the stories together a few times, and we have like all this, amazing ideas that we're gonna, execute and implement in the comic. So yeah, in the upcoming weeks, you start seeing like sneak peeks of the comics as well. But the first, it'll be a 1 year comic series.
Okay.
And it'll be basically that 1 year will capture 2 books. So right now, Cypher, I mean, I have written around 2 books in terms of content. So the
Okay.
comic will cover 2 books for 1 year, 12 issues, 1 issue every month.
Okay.
And each issue is like Marvel size, so it's about 25 pages
Ooh,
of like
okay.
fully colored, professional art and ink. And of course, being Cypher Inu holders, you guys are able to mint, a comic pass that will get you this like the license to read, right? Like James Bond, right? The license to read forever. You can just read, all these Cypherian comics forever for free. And of course, you want to sell it, you can sell it too. That's all yours.
Okay.
So
Before
the
we move on,
first
can you clarify a bit more earlier? You mentioned Cypher Inu holders can get this comic. Does that mean other Inu holders or other race holders can't, or do we get a exclusive or something like that? No.
No, there's no exclusivity.
Okay.
For Cypher Inu only, there's no. But basically, you're the first. You're the first to mint it. You're the first to read it. There's a lot of perks of being first, right?
Okay.
And also with the mint pass, basically, you hold it. You can use it for yourself, or you can sell it to whoever who wants to read the comics, or they have to buy it from us, right? So that's also like
I see.
a value for you.
So I can just put it up on OpenSea, yeah, and just sell it to whoever's new coming into the game and they want to read
Exactly.
about the law, and then I just set the
Exactly.
price on it, yeah.
Yeah, so
Amazing.
in your case, Crypt, right? You have 4 Inu, correct? So
Yeah,
you
correct.
mint 4 passes, you sell 3. Just keep one for yourself, man.
Yeah, that's the plan, right? So
Right?
I know
Yeah,
I
just
need to
sell.
read so many times. So yeah, I'll just
Exactly.
sell it off.
Exactly. So that's for you, right?
Mm.
And the comics, what's inside the comics. So apart from the story, you also will have like Easter eggs inside the comics. So we have like hints or like
Ooh.
cryptic password, cryptic passwords that you will need to catch and know, like, hey, is it hinting something? Like maybe in a comic scene, right? And the characters are in this dungeon, right? And then on the wall, there's a very faint like word that says like X502, for example.
Uh-huh.
So you might not catch it, but if you catch it, and then in the game that the dungeon MVP that we're releasing, you might come across some treasure chests or some locked doors. And if you input X502, you may just be able to open that.
Oh my god. So the real law is linked to the game.
Correct. So it pays to be a comic reader, guys, not just for the story, because the story is, I made a story, so I think it's good. But yeah, hopefully you guys will like it. But yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs inside as well. I think we lost Crypt again. Maybe we should pay to upgrade his internet.
Hello, testing. I'm back.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're back.
I was just saying that I'm so excited for the villains, yeah, to know more about the villains as well, because the villains make the story, yeah. You
Yeah.
can't
You can have a great hero story without a great villains. But in Sipheria, everybody is their own heroes, right? You guys are all your own heroes. So
Okay. So I mean that is it for now on the discussion end, right? We're gonna move into the AMA section.
sure.
So do we have Spec with us to take over the AMA section?
Paging spec.
Until then, we can see.
Hey guys, Spec has said that he can't join today, so it might have to be just you guys for today.
Okay. Crypt.
Apologies, I keep disconnecting for some reason. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the AMA, guys, since Spec won't be joining us, yeah.
Okay.
So Let me see the questions over here. So we have a question from Zega, Centurion Scholar. I'm excited for the release of new races. One question though, will Neko, Tori, and Buru also have sub-traits that can be used for cloning? Or is cloning limited to Inu holders? Really hope you could answer my question. Thank you. Tin?
So right now, the idea is that we want to have firstly the sub traits, sub races, because I've seen some questions regarding this as well. So let me clarify. All the new races will have their own sub race. Yeah. So the basically the cosmic there will be no for now there will be no Necco cosmic, for example. The Necco will have their own thing, right? I cannot tell you what it is because you see it in the upcoming weeks. But basically, they won't repeat what the Inu have. So that also means that they will have different skills in game than the Inu. Yeah, so that's the sub race for the Neko. Just to clarify, regarding cloning, they would have cloning abilities. However, because they're later released into the year, so that when the first game launch, the Inu again will have an advantage of being able to be early, to be able to play the game early, be able to get all these vessel cores early, and then be able to mint to clone earlier. So that would be my question to that. Peak, you wanna help with Crypt because his internet is keep dropping? Peekaboo?
Hello. Testing. Why does my internet keep dropping? So, next question from Dark Templar. Tin, are you there, Tim?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, question of the year, he says, do you think more Genesis characters are better for the game that will provide good and low entry points? Or are you keen on building a high-level branded exclusive NFTs for early adopters?
I want to, for the record, right? I want to say that, because we aim to be a multiplayer game, we don't want to be an exclusive PFP community.
Okay.
We want to have as many people playing as possible, enjoying the game, because that the benefits of the more, like, let's say 1 million, 5 million, 10 million people playing, it's great for the game, it's great for the community, and it's great for the Genesis holders. Because why? Because the more demand there is, the more demand for CD keys to play. So I think we will create value for the Genesis holder by making this game great, by making this game really attractive to a lot of people, attracting a large player base, whether it's guilds like YGG or whether it's just casual players who love to play a fun game and then have an element of earning on top of it. So that's my answer.
Okay, thanks, Tin. So next question is from Zinaudi, Shade Brotherhood. So he has a lot of questions. We've chosen a few. Regarding the L2 solution for spaceship parts, I understand there will be a delay in delivering said function. However, can we expect the Genesis Hinu holders to keep the benefit of minting earlier than Neko holders?
Yes. So because
Okay.
we're not delaying, but because we're exploring different different technology, mainly with a layer 2, we have decided to postpone this a bit, which I think you guys are comfortable with. However, we'll make sure so that to keep our original supporter, our Inu holders in mind, and yeah, for sure you have the benefits of being early.
Great. Thanks, Tin. So next question from Zinardi as well. Will there be any decrease in minting costs for future races? So many of us consider 0.1 minting cost to be a little overpriced as well as above market average. So exactly, maybe we can discuss then actually where is this 0.1 coming from, and where is the cost going to?
Yeah, I think pricing is always like an art rather than science.
Mhm.
And when you say like, should the Rolex be like, I don't know, like 100,000 or like 85,000? It's a bit hard, right?
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
quite it's quite subjective. So I don't want to go into this debate of like subjectivity. But however, I do want to say is that the cost of minting will not decrease for future races. I don't see why I should penalize my early supporter. I don't see why the early supporter will be like, oh my god, like I'm in this early, I supported the Cypher team, I'm one of the original, like why are you guys the later supporter will get to buy at a cheaper price? I don't think that's
Mhm.
how any kind of like reasonable business will work, right? The early backers should always be getting it for the most affordable price, which is 0.1.
Okay, Ken. Next question is from Bay Suzy. Is NFT trades other than subrace, will it take effect in game? And is weapon that we hold in NFT directly to be used in the NFT?
Good question. So yes, there'll be traits. I mean, you already have the sub race, so that will already be effective in game. We are working on this algorithm that will basically, depending on your metadata and your sub race, it will give you slightly different attributes in game, like starting attributes. Not significant, but because we want to set everyone on a quite a level playing field. But there'll be that as well. And then regarding weapons, no, the weapons you are having now are cosmetic only. Like you see some people like holding like a brick. Like I don't think we don't have a brick in the game. Sorry for that. Sorry if I disappoint you or didn't make it clear. But it's cosmetic only, and it's meant as like a very unique avatar in game. That when people see you, when they see, let's say, Kryptonite's avatar, like, oh my god, that's Kryptonite. Like there's no other guy that has this avatar. That's our intention when it comes to this this design, because
Okay.
because remember, in game it'll be 3D, right? You'll be moving around in a
Mhm.
3D environment. You'll be holding 3D weapons. So yeah, definitely, you cannot bring, we won't have the same like weapons here that we have in game.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Next question is from Beatrice. Hey, Beatrice. So the Atlas is a very extensive source of information for Cypher, but majority of the people are reluctant to read it because of how long it is, right? So do you guys have a solution for this? Maybe a short and sweet e-booklet that has a fun layout?
Yeah, that's not bad advice. Good advice, actually. Right now, our art team, our design team is kind of overwhelmed because we are focusing on making the game. So I think once we have more time or more resources, we definitely can consider making more like infographic style, information for Atlas. Kind of like what we did during the mint, like the mint process, the kind of like Merkle tree, right? So we'll try to
Yeah.
do more of that so everyone can have access to simplified information.
Great, that's great. Okay. Next question is from Aris. Care to share, more about game development, right? How do you see Cypher as a game? Who will be the top target market, general public, or people who want to earn from playing games? Who will be the top target market?
Fantastic question, man. The general public, for sure. Our vision, what we set out to do, Cypher, is that we want to build compelling game experiences utilizing blockchain technology. So we always want to build a great game that is fun to play, good story, good community, good game mechanic, and then have an element of and then utilizing blockchain so that there's true player ownership of game assets, of game characters, progression. So there's an earning element to it, but we never start out building a play to earn game first and foremost. It's my opinion. People have different opinions, and I don't want to argue on that point. But I just believe that as a long time gamer, game should be first and foremost really fun, really engaging, socially, mechanically, story wise to play.
So before the play to earn, the fun comes first, yeah. So I would love to play a fun game first before I know that it's play to earn as well.
Because
Thanks,
if you
Tim.
just game on play
Yeah.
to earn, the moment
Yeah.
there's any slight deviation to the earning capacity, you lose the player.
Yeah, exactly. So even so the earning mechanics come later, but the fun game comes first. So even I'm having fun all the while, regardless of how much I'm earning from it, right? So that's the thing for me, lah, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Next question is from Don Pute. 2944. How is the team addressing gas costs in game, and will there be a kind of in-game chain like Ronin but with Cypher tokens?
Oh, fantastic question. So many good questions today. Yeah, gas is a massive, massive issue. So, even in our Git book or our atlas, we specifically said that, all the imported assets, we'll try to keep it on Ethereum because that's where the biggest trust and security is right now for blockchain. However, for gaming transaction, it doesn't make sense. This is too expensive and too slow. So we're definitely we've been working on a few solutions, either a fast scaling layer 2 solution, something like the ZK rollup tech stack, or we are looking at implementing a fast layer 1, kind of like, like Polygon, or like the questioner asked is implementing a sidechain like Ronin. But like rolling out a sidechain is very complex, very difficult. It requires deep expertise. Good blockchain development guys, not just smart contract development. So I mean, I don't have the correct or answer now, but because it's still up in the air. But we'll definitely inform our community, and we'll definitely choose the tech stack that best serve the community interests.
Great, Tin. Thank you. Next question is from Cat of Whole Street. What a nice name. Will Necco be listed under Sipheria Search Collection, or will it be under its own collection in OpenSea?
It will be its own collection. The collection name, I think I can reveal it. It's going to be called Sipheria Flash, because the cats are like super fast, right? It just like appear in a flash. And it will be a separate collection because it has separate attributes. It will have separate sub races. It will have like unique designs that you don't see in the Inu. I'm really personally excited because some of the Neckos are just amazing looking, and I think some people here were kidding, were joking about the waifu stuff, right? But man, I think those are like the real candidates there.
I can't wait to see the Necco, man. So yeah. Next question from Crypto Law Guy. What's the earning potential going to look like? Like from casually playing, what kind of return can you expect? Can you answer this question, Tin, for now?
It's pretty hard, man. It's like asking what's the Bitcoin price would be in, like, I don't know, tomorrow. It's a bit hard. Crypto market, USDT market, the whole world market. So that's why I don't focus primarily on play to earn, right? I just want to repeat that. It's to be fun to play first, so that even though there's the crypto winter coming, I hope like a majority of our community are still around, because hey, it's so fun to be around everyone and so fun to be playing game and sociable. Yeah, that's my answer.
Thanks, Tin. So next question is from Kopi Muji. How will balancing of the game be decided? Because seeing as a mobile game relies on no specific units having clear advantages, right? Will the rarer sub-races have an additional benefit on mobile gameplay? And how will this impact Canis holders? So you briefly discussed about this earlier, right? Any more to expand on?
Yeah, sure. So with the MOBA gameplay, the questioner is correct that it has to be a balanced start. It cannot be. We don't want to create like an imbalanced, like pay to win kind of a scenario.
Yeah.
So the different sub races will have different skills that they can use, and it'll be kind of like a paper, scissor, rock kind of mechanic. Like there's no paper doesn't beat everybody, right? Paper only beats rock, right? But it will lose to scissor, right? For example. So it's a very similar concept in MOBA, but then you have to have skills as well, right? Just because you have paper but you're a bad player, a terrible player, doesn't mean you can beat rock, right? So I think those would be the two goals that we focus on in making the game balanced.
So agility can win intellect heroes, intellect can win strength, something like that, right? But it's all counter something, like counter gameplay. Yeah.
Correct.
Thanks,
and
Tin.
skill.
Yeah. And skill also, of course. Yeah. Next question is from King Odin, Centurion Scholar. Hey, King. Welcome back. With that much ciphers releasing in the upcoming months, right? What would entice people to buy the upcoming races with so many cipher races releasing?
Yeah, good question. I mean, if you think about it, right, how many players are now playing Axie and holding Axies? I think there are about 3 million, right? 3 million Axies in circulation, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So 3 million, and with Cypher now it's 10,000. I don't know. I mean, you do the math, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think that answers it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question is from Hi Dila Zero, Knight of Cypher. Can you share the community the marketing campaigns that the project team is planning to do, promoting the project, and also are there any venture capitalists or strategic investors who has the pledge in the project? Yeah, thanks.
So the second part is I can answer first. So that's, I mean, you guys, some of you probably know, but the past 2 weeks has been a crazy ride for us at Cypher. We're so lucky to receive a lot of investor interest. A lot of them are very, very high level, very high caliber, well known for investing in great games, great companies. And we have managed to meet them all, and they're all very excited about joining and investing into the project. Because we're still in the like legal, paperwork kind of negotiation phase.
Okay.
So I cannot disclose any names, but yeah, we will definitely have some really key investors who have supported and backed great game crypto projects.
Ooh,
And even have
exciting.
backed great, like just normal games, like massive game companies. And also, we have some potential angel investor who have built massive game studios and sold it to, again, even the biggest game studio. So there will be angel investing into Cypher as well. So I can only say that we've been very lucky, and the future looks bright when it comes to VCs and angel investors. What was the first part of the question again?
So what are some of the marketing campaigns that the project team
Right.
is planning to do? Yeah.
Right. I think when it comes to marketing, my point of view is that we invest in the product. We invest in the product, and the product will be the best kind of like marketing tool. So by that we invest by the product. What I mean, of course, the game. I mean, of course, the art, the character, the story, the comics, but also our community. Right? We invest in this kind of timing, this kind of time spent for the community, explaining questions, answering questions. Time spent on making like Atlas is a great source of material. So we help all the people have like the most accessible information and be as transparent as possible. We invest in making guides and instruction for you guys to protect and help the crypto newbies, so that when you join this world, you don't get scam, or like you don't know how to work your wallet and you lose your money. Like, we've been very, very proactive and careful about that, and that's something we'll continue to do. We want you to be with us for the long run. So that's these are the kind of thing we're investing on. And then regarding marketing, we have some great plans, a great content calendar that Kryptonite and the entire content team has been working on. So just stay tuned and you see it over the upcoming weeks.
Yes, guys. So more things are coming, more events, pre-season release materials, events are coming up. So stay tuned on that. Actually, that's all the questions we had collated down. Can I read more questions off the question list? Yeah, you have time?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So can you tell us more about land buying and nodes and tiles? How would buying and functionality potentially work? Right. This is from Kitty Cat, and she says, "Thank you for all the updates and great project developments."
Yeah. Well, thank you. So land buying is something we're working on. It's not finalized concept because of the buying mechanic.
Okay.
I just I don't want to promise anything, and because we're still working on the right mechanic that will work, that would really help and grow the so-called experience of the player. The last thing we want to do is to create land just for the sake of creating land and to sell it, and then you have all these whales who buy like tons of land and just leave it there empty, and nothing happens ever. So that's the quickest way to destroy a project. So we're definitely not going that way. So we're working on some mechanic and some incentives that what we call is a proof of play or proof of winning. And you will need this kind of proof of winning or proof of play in order to buy the land. So just think about just think of it in this way. Like you cannot just buy it with money. You need to have money, yes, but you also need to have those proofs. And how you get it, we'll show you in the near future.
Okay. Thanks, Tin. So, next question is from, let's see here. NFT Fund. Can you expand on the loaning mechanics for your character to be used by other players? Will loot distribution be negotiated between two parties? Is there a standard base fee to be paid by the owner? In-game XP belongs to the character or the player?
Wow, this person has done his or her research.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on it. Right now, it's heavily dependent on what the smart contract is able to support and how secure it is. So yes, we of course in ideal world we want to have as many features as possible, but technology that's not always possible. So in short, I think at least we'll have either a pre-agreed kind of like mechanic where there's a certain percentage split when it comes to lending. Because if we let it to be too flexible, that might cause some problem with the back end. But that's my thinking. However, we have to test it a bit more with the smart contract and the protocol, and I think that's still a few months away. So stay tuned for that update.
Okay, great. So next question, let's see here. Can you give us a rough approximate on the dates of some of these things from Cypher Double? So do we have any rough approximate dates on Necco or any dates so far?
No fixed dates. Everything in the crypto world moves at lightning speed, or in the case of Cardano, maybe not so lightning speed. Sorry guys, I just think like Cardano is funny. I'm sorry to all the Cardano holders here. Okay, it's a great project, so I'm not dissing it. Yeah, I don't want to give a fixed date because we're committing something that will that we might not be able to deliver. But I think just being active on Discord, when you know it, right? We'll keep you posted.
Okay. Next question is from David. Will the game be playable on mobile?
Yes, absolutely. The first version will not be because we're focusing on PC first, and we don't have the resources to optimize for mobile. So sorry, the mobile fans, they have to wait, or they can just play on PC first. And then in the subsequent versions, once we have the hang of PC, we'll definitely create like a mobile experience. And the ultimate end goal, is to make it cross-platform compatible.
Great. So next question is actually a general question I've been seeing, right? People have been concerned about floor prices and short-term returns. Do you have anything to address this?
Yeah, I think I was saying that in the previous in the section before the AMA, right? I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
I think don't buy if you're here for a short-term flip. Like, I mean, there's a lot more projects that you can go and buy that hopefully you can flip quickly and make a lot of money or some money. Just don't do it here. So that like don't be so concerned about like the floor price. Today, tomorrow, whatever. If you let's say if you hold Bitcoin, are you concerned that it moves up 2% tomorrow or 3% down tomorrow? Like, no, right? Because you know that in the long run it's gonna be a great project. And regarding floor price, I mean, for me, it's for some people they treat it as an opportunity, right? This is like the time to invest in something that is still undervalued, right? And then in a few months, in a year time, maybe they're the one who laughing. So I don't know. I mean, this is not financial advice, of course, but yeah, just stay here for the long run, man. Just don't focus on it's been like 5 days, 6 days since we mint, right?
Yeah.
And a game is not done in 5 days, right? So yeah, just stay here for the long run. Hopefully, you like the community, you like the people, you like to be around, and when the game launches, it'd be great for you.
Great. Thank you, Tin. So next question is from King Hefe. How many ciphers will a player need to play dungeon and PvP? Do you have anything on that?
Yeah. So dungeon, you just need one. You need one to play, and you need 2 other friends that can play with you. That's the co-op mode. Or you need 3 to play if you don't. Sorry, you don't have friends, but like your friends are busy, for example. Then you have 3, and then the other 2 are just like supporting, like AI control character that support you, right? Yeah. So as little as 1 and as many as 3. to fill the dungeon team. For the PvP, you just need one. Yeah, for the PvP, you just need one, and then the other two will be the other two teammates that you can join in the team and you play.
Okay, thanks, Tin. Next question. Let's see over here. Necco sneak peeks when? Question mark.
When? uh, I think you see it around soon. Just I would like to keep it a surprise, as much of a surprise as possible. We're working on some great materials. Making sure our Necco are beautiful and sexy and ready for the public public unveil. So yeah, just stay tuned, man. I cannot say when.
Okay, actually that's about it, Tin. And let me check the chat. Let's see here. Any more questions? What gender is the Necco? Yeah, it's female, right, Tin?
Yeah, it's a female. Yes.
Okay. Actually, that's about it, Tin. Any closing statements you have?
Yeah, sure. So firstly, thanks, Kryptonite, for jumping in and supporting me with the AMA. And just as a general note for the audience, it's been a week since we launched the first Cypher Inu race, and I have to say, it's more than what we expect. We didn't expect the community to support it so much, and we didn't expect to be sold out in like 10 minutes, like 12 minutes, whatever. We didn't expect the gas price to be so crazy high. I feel bad, right? I feel really bad at the gas price so high because we're selling the Inu at 0.1. Some people say they're minting at 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, and we don't want that, right? That's not what we want, right? But that's what happened. And some people are upset about it, but we have tried to help you and try to be very clear that if there'll be a gas war, we think there'll be a gas war, so if you don't want to participate because too risky, just wait and then buy an OpenSea. You can go back on our Discord chat and news, and you can read it. We actually said it very clearly. So please give us some support in saying that we've been very transparent with you since the beginning. We want to make this project as accessible to everyone as possible. We don't want a gas war. So with that said, in the upcoming launches, we will try our best so that our community will be able to get the newer characters as close to the mint price as possible. Some way or another. We'll try our best. We're working on many solutions. We work on a few ways to make sure that it's still a very fair minting experience, but hopefully lower gas. But with Ethereum, when you say fair and when you say public and when you say like 60,000 people minting, it's just, the gas is gonna shoot up, right?
Yeah.
That's guaranteed with Ethereum. That's just how it works, right? So yeah, we're working on it. We hear you. Give us some time. Give us give us patience. Believe in the project, and yeah, we'll try to make sure that you guys, our supporter, our community, active members, the people who believe in the project, who couldn't get in the first time because the gas price was high, who or maybe like the current price on OpenSea on some of the characters too high, then it's okay. Just wait for the next drop. We'll make sure we'll try to make it as smooth and as affordable in terms of gas as possible. So yeah, that will be my passing remarks. And and another one is that some people are concerned like, there's not much activity on Discord after the mint. Well, this is quite normal because at the beginning of every NFT project, there's always this like crazy hype when there's an upcoming launch, right? You see it again in the upcoming Necco launch for sure. But when there's no like imminent like launch in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then some of the people are not so active, because they have their daily life, they have work, they have school, whatever. So that's one reason. And the second reason is that some people are just here for the early shots and they want to flip, and after they flip, they're gone, right? So that's just normal too. So just expect that there'll be some slowdown, but the core community, the key leaders, the key mods, and most importantly, the key team, the core team, we're here and we're building and building and building. So take faith in that. Yeah, so that will be my remarks. And lastly, thanks everyone for joining in today. We still have like 400 people listening in, so that's massive. Thank you for that. And I just cannot wait to continue building the whole Sipheria universe with you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Tin. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So this will be uploaded on YouTube, yeah? And I will also do a summary of it so that everyone can have a quick read on what's happening. So stay tuned for more events launching, right? So before the Necco launch, there will be pre-seasonal activities for you guys to participate in. And thanks again, everyone. Have a good night, have a good day, and see you guys soon.
Have
Bye.
a good night.